PJR exclusive.
Welcome back to the Untitled Movie Podcast. We are back after this is our first one of the year, first episode of the year. So
the holidays.
Yeah, the holidays suck, as everybody knows. But people have been waiting for us to talk about the Tyler Perry movie, but we're not going to do that. We'll talk about it for a moment. Y'all, everybody, like as Raven said off air, everybody's heard everything that can be said about this movie at this point.
Yeah, everybody's talked.
We
about
missed
it.
We missed the cutoff.
We did. But I think everybody kind of felt the same way. There are very few people that I've seen either from my friends on social media or from the random reviews that I've been looking at that thought that this was a great movie. I think more people thought that it was crappy yet entertaining.
It was definitely entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who talks about this movie, you know, a classic line has come out of it. Ashtray, bitch! You know, that was ridiculous.
Cats is going to be saying that for real, though. That's the sad part.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 22% on Rotten Tomatoes?
That's pretty high, though, actually, for Tyler Perry.
Yeah, Roger Ebert gave it 2 out of 4, which I thought was kind of high.
He was like, yo, I'm at the crib.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert gave it too?
He did. I was like, is he friends with Tyler Perry or something?
He gave.
Wait a minute.
No.
So it wasn't Roger Ebert. It was whoever's doing his reviews now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's from his site.
But his site gave Boo like 2 stars too.
Wait, Roger Ebert did?
Yeah, well, that site.
Yes.
That same place gave Boo 2 stars.
So is there like some kind of long-standing kinship between them? Like I understand.
I think there's a reverse racism thing there because they shit on a lot of black movies in the 90s and 80s.
Well, no, like I just wonder if like
they end up being classics for black people. They were like they hated Harlem Nights, like they shitted on Harlem Nights.
Well, yeah. So because of that, are they giving black movies more credit than they deserve now? Yes. Have they lowered their rubric for evaluating?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, Tyler Perry is actually a national hero.
At
the same time,
I have a lot of respect for Tyler Perry, and I would actually love the opportunity to work with him, especially to be his continuity expert or his legal expert.
You said continuity, like to be able to go through like, yo, this ain't matching up.
That, and you have a microphone hanging down in this scene. The people in the restaurant aren't actually eating anything.
The one dude,
the wig has changed from one scene to the next.
The judge had the script sitting on his desk.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
So the script is sitting right there.
Yes.
Like right there.
Yes, my attorney friends and I cringed.
So no, I do want
all of Risha Webb's performance.
So as an attorney, I do want to. So
oh
like,
my God.
is that like? I mean, I know it's horrible law, but when you have like a law person like, yo, man, that's not what happens in a real courtroom.
Yeah. So that I was trying to decide if he wanted her to be that stupid, or if he just didn't know. But no, you don't get to reopen evidence after you've closed your case and call a witness in the middle of closing arguments. No, you do not get to do that.
Is there any case where you could do that?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
I mean, you wait and you ask for a mistrial based on some legal foundation. But no, you don't wait until it's your turn to give a closing argument. Be like, wait a minute, I want to call a witness. I already called because I didn't ask her the right questions. Even though she never would have made a good witness in the first fucking place.
But what if it was a new witness, though?
No. I mean, I guess the only way is like if the prosecution hid somebody and you didn't know about it. But in that case, you ask for a mistrial. You don't reintroduce it in the same trial.
You have to start all over then.
The case has already been tainted. So
you have to start all over, basically.
Right. And if the judge tells you to sit the fuck down, you sit the fuck down. Like, you're willing to go to jail and be held in contempt.
Just because you ain't put somebody
right. Like, what? I didn't know if he was just trying to do it for dramatic effect or if it was supposed to be adding to the story how dumb she was and how bad of an attorney she was, because that's kind of the storyline they were going with. Like, she don't know how to try a case, she just wants to settle, and that's it. But it didn't add anything. It just frustrated me. So as a non-attorney, how did you feel about it?
Oh, I thought it was amazing.
What? That scene?
No.
So you
this
felt
in
like she
general,
was really
Brisha
fighting?
Brisha Webb with her Baltimore accent coming out all the whole movie.
I like Brisha Webb. So.
I like it, but her accent was coming out hard. Like she was not saying like I'm not from Baltimore. You know that Baltimore accent was popping.
Yeah, she did an interview on the Breakfast Club, and she really thought this was a good movie. Or,
No, she
I don't know,
didn't.
maybe
No, she didn't.
You don't think she did? You think she was just trying to
got
promote
paid
it?
for that. She got paid to you need to go out here, make sure you promote it. Do you want another movie? Do you want the big joy when I go in the theaters next year? All right, then you go out there, you promote it, you do. You saw what happened to Monique, right?
Fair enough. I met Brisha.
Monique is just the story.
I met Brisha in person
you did?
year. Yes,
Where were you
I
at?
went to an Emmy party with my boy Jason Lee.
Yeah,
Shout out
to
Jason, who's
Shout
on
out
the
to Jason.
Orville.
Yeah, shout
just
out to
renewed
Jason.
for another
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
Congratulations.
shout out to
Yeah,
Jason.
but I went with Jason to Emmy's diversity awards party, and Brisha Webb was there, and I met her, and she was very, very sweet. She's very, very new in her career. Early in her career.
She was on that show Love That Girl.
Yeah.
That was like early mid 2000s?
Is that the one with what show was she on with Marlon Wayans?
Oh, that's the Marlon.
Yeah.
But she was on that show Love That Girl. She played it was on TV1 with Tatiana Ali.
Okay, never watched that.
Yeah.
All
it
right,
was
Tatiana.
like mid 2000s, yeah.
Okay.
She played the sassy secretary.
Cool. Yeah, so she's just a cool girl, and I'm happy to see her do big things in her career. I don't know if this movie helped her.
It was a nice check, man. It paid some bills for it.
Yeah. I mean, and she did a good job with the material she had.
Yeah.
I think everybody. I didn't have a problem with the acting in this movie at all.
Oh, I did.
You did?
Oh.
Who did you hate?
Everybody.
Really?
Everybody.
Was it the content or was it the acting?
I think it may have been the content, and then they were like forced to like do some dumb shit.
Yes,
with the
I agree with that.
Like Macabre Brooks I like Macabre Brooks as an actor.
He delivered that ashtray bitch line very well, though.
He needs to be a villain in a Marvel movie. He needs to be a Marvel villain now.
Yeah, I mean, he was so evil and so
the
hateful.
same guy though. I want him to be the same as that guy with that high top fade, everything. I don't know what character we're gonna have him be, but he needs to be that guy. And he just throws ashtrays.
Yes.
He just throws ashtrays like little frisbees, like boomer, like Captain Boomerang. Just
Sweet Lord.
ashtrays.
Yeah.
But no, we need to say we as black people we have to be comfortable with having shitty movies at some point.
Yes.
For us to be free, if we truly want to be free, we have to be able to have shitty movies.
You're right because other
Adam
filmmakers.
Sandler's been doing it for years on Netflix.
I was gonna say yes. That movie he and Chris Rock did on Netflix was terrible.
Horrible.
Absolutely
terrible.
terrible.
Now I heard the Gems movie is supposed to be pretty good.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems was it pretty good?
Yeah, Uncut Gems is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked Uncut
but
Gems.
But he didn't do that. That was Farley's, right? Or the Coens.
No,
Uncut
it was,
Gems was
the Safdies.
Safdies. The same guys that did the joint with Robert Pattinson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's good in good movies. What was it? Funny People he was good in.
Mm-hmm. I even like Spanglish.
Spanglish? Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah. So I like seeing him in serious
he can't
roles
direct it and run it.
If he's direct, well, I mean, is it the same thing with because what I think with Tyler Perry is he's just trying to churn out things quickly.
Yeah.
And he has this whole thing about his work ethic, and he brags about how he's the only person that does everything. And it's like, no, bro. Now you got the money, you got the resources. Bring in some people to help you out.
But he had a writer's room on that show, House of Pain. But he got in trouble because he was like overworking them. So, and you can speak to this a little bit. So. He basically what he was doing, he was trying to go ahead of he was trying to get the show syndicated fast. So they were like filming like 2 or 3 shows a day.
Oh wow!
So they could get the show because you have to do a certain amount of shows to be syndication. So he was having the writers go above the writers amount, and it was right before the writers strike.
Okay.
And he was having the writers work more than they should and paying them the same amount.
Huh.
That's why he's bragging about. That's why he won't have a writers room no more. The House of Pain situation.
I wonder if that comes from like his stage experience because I mean he's used to doing plays.
Yeah.
And like having that shit going night after night after night.
And you can fuck up and it's all good.
Yeah. As somebody who doesn't know his movies at all, are they bad because they feel like you can feel
they feel like a play.
Or does it feel like a play or does it feel rushed or does it just feel
all of the above?
Everything.
It feels rushed. It feels like a play. It does feel like something that's made for the stage. So one of the other issues that I had with A Fall from Grace is there's not a whole lot of stuff happening on the screen. Like you'll have the actors sitting at a table where they could be having dialogue, but then it's a narration of like what's going on. So it's almost like he just filmed them sitting together, and then later on had like Cynthia Fox come in and say her lines, like
it was almost
so
a table.
like,
it was like a table read,
right? Yeah. So I'm like, why are we watching this and like there's nothing happening, and she's narrating her experience instead of us watching it unfold. And so there were a lot of issues I had with the character development. Like I didn't care about anybody in this movie. Like we knew that she had come out of a bad marriage. But we didn't know anything about it. Their relationship was rushed so quickly, even though she started out being hesitant and wondering, why are you so interested in me?
I think she said her ex-husband ended up getting a younger woman or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you don't see any of these things happen. You just hear about them. And so I think when you're watching a movie, you want to see this stuff
or get some
play
context
out
behind
too.
it, or like some exposition from characters talking about it.
Yeah, but no, it's just kind of like they're moving from set to set and not really interacting or doing anything other than the ashtray bitch scene. And the rest of it is just like narrated while they're just kind of walking through the space.
And Tyler Perry came up with that on the fly. That was not in the script. He was like, I need something a little bit better though. Just say ashtray bitch.
Oh really?
No, I'm dead ass serious. I read an article about it. He just came up with that on the fly.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's an amazing man.
Way up with a line.
Respect Tyler Perry for who he is. And he gives people checks in between their time. He gives them I call them summer job checks. You ain't in school no more, and you need a little summer job. That's Tyler Perry. You work 4 or 5 days. You go back.
You know what? It's so
TV
funny
show.
you said it because my sister, she was like, I can just take some PTO and go audition and film a Tyler Perry movie in 1 week and make some money. And
you made some good money. You made little
she
5,
actually,
10
she
grand.
actually went to his website and she was like, let me see what's coming up. I'm gonna go audition. And that's one thing I do like about him is he gives, in addition to having some really big names, Cicely Tyson and Felicia Rashad and Cynthia Fox, like he has some brand new people you haven't even heard of. And he just kind of seems to give a lot of black actors an opportunity. They might not be doing so great with it, but
he's got some shitty TV shows too, man.
Yeah.
Like The Haves and the Have-Nots.
I've never watched
It's
that.
this other show called Sisters, which is like the broke down version of Girlfriends.
No, I haven't heard of that either.
These are all currently going on network.
So I'm
not
really knowing his stuff, but it sounds like is this stuff shot in LA too?
No, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, so he has a whole.
He has his own studio.
He has a whole property. Like, how big is this property?
Oh, it's the biggest studio in the world.
So
not in the world, in the U.S.
It is a pretty big filmmaking hub now. So I guess it's just like easy for actors just to go and give like 5 days or whatever, and they probably do it because I was saying before the show.
He has housing on the property. You don't even have to leave.
Super easy from.
You don't have to leave the studio at all. He has like hotels built in the property.
So that was like what we were saying before the show. That was the system Woody Allen used to do. You would just come to New York, give 5 days, go home, get a check, and it doesn't hurt your career. And it sounds like I don't know anything about Tyler Perry's movies, but I look at the casting, and it's just like a smorgasbord of names who are usually on his casting.
It's a who's who.
So I don't know if like maybe the fact that it doesn't hurt the career is because their names are just kind of like blended in with other names.
And then you could say, well, I was in the movie with such and such, and we were all in there, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So I mean, what we were saying beforehand is what is like that line, that sort of like Mendoza line of quality versus is it worth it or not? Like who is above that line? Who would say it's detrimental to be in your movie?
Man, it's a lot of people that need money.
Well, everybody still watches this shit though.
Yeah,
like we're not expecting it to be good. So what are our expectations of Tyler Perry at this point?
I don't have any expectations anymore.
Yeah.
Should
we though? No. I mean, he has so much money, so many resources.
But he's got so many other dope movies that have been filmed on his property though. Like Bad Boys 3 was filmed that was filmed on there. The New Coming to America is filmed on there. They filmed Marvel movies on there. Black Panther's filmed on there. His set. Whatever. You did a lot of other shit going on in the background. You can make your little shitty movies, and I'll watch them on Netflix.
Because he does still have an audience. He does still have an audience.
Oh, they love him.
When I went to my mom's house over the holidays,
did your mom like it?
My mom and I share a Netflix account, and I saw when I started A Fall from Grace that somebody had spent 8 minutes watching it, so I guess that's how far she made it. But she did make it all the way through that Medea's Family Holiday movie. It also came out on Netflix, or maybe it was Amazon Prime. I don't remember. But
she made it through the whole thing.
She made it through. I went to her house and she was like halfway through it, like cracking up. It was horrible. But I was laughing too. Like it was so ridiculous that it was funny. And it's like the people are still going to watch his shit. So what incentive does he have, like, to put out
Adam
like
Sandler.
quality stuff? You're right.
Little Nicky. I mean, a movie about the devil.
So Paul is the white voice. Are white people as critical of Adam Sandler as black people are of Tyler Perry?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty critical of Adam Sandler, but I also don't really like have stake in him carrying the mantle or anything. So it's not like I
put a lot of shit on our black people to hold up a lot.
That's
of shit.
true. That's my point.
So I can definitely see a major difference in that case. Like, I shit on Adam Sandler in just sort of a snarky way that I just kind of shit on all movies that are bad, but I don't feel like any personal disappointment, except for the fact that when Adam Sandler does something great, he's absolutely great in it, and it's frustrating to see why he can't do that constantly. And it's funny because with Tyler Perry, my only exposure to him, since I don't know him from his films that he directs, is from his acting. And I don't think his acting is so bad in other directors' films. Like, he was in Gone Girl.
Gone Girl,
yeah, and he was in the Dick Cheney movie. And he was Colin Powell. And he did a really good Colin Powell. And when I see this guy show up, at least I recognize him well enough. And maybe that, I mean, just from what I see, that's kind of a frustration that I have, because I'm just like, you are obviously good at this. Why don't you stay in your lane and do what you do? Same for Adam Sandler. Why don't you stay in your lane and do these like amazing movies you do? Why do you do crappy Netflix movies? And
because people still watch them, and I guess to Daryl's point, they're still making money. They're still staying on your mind. You're still talking about them. Yeah. So
what are they supposed to do?
They're remaining relevant, even if it's for bad reasons.
That's the whole thing. It's like, it's Tyler Perry, man.
Yeah, I guess I appreciate your point that he is providing his space for good movies, and maybe doing this shitty Netflix content is just a way to keep his empire running.
Yeah, we gotta put up with that bullshit. We gonna get Coming to America too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, some of the thoughts I have is I guess, and then when I question back at that, is like, is it fair for the audience to see whatever lane that they excel in and expect them to keep excelling? Like, what if they want to make crappy movies? That's kind of just their prerogative. And what if he makes a lot more money? Like, he probably didn't make a whole lot making Gone Girl, and he probably made a ton making this last one, so it's probably more of a financial decision.
I mean, he was horrible in Alex Cross though too.
I didn't see that one.
No, you didn't see it?
I did not see that
I
one.
didn't see that either, but I heard he was horrible in it.
But I mean, and I think the other question is, he's giving these actors an opportunity, and I can sit back, or other people can sit back and say, well, why are you doing these movies with Tyler Perry? But sometimes, what other options do they have? I mean, Hollywood is not necessarily so upfront and progressive about hiring black actors or minority actors of any kind. And then you have someone like Lupita, who, Jordan Peele luckily came along and gave her that chance in Us that she was not. She was kind of relegated for a while after
12 Years a Slave.
After 12 Years a Slave, where she wins an Oscar, and then she's kind of relegated to doing that goofy Star Wars character she was doing, which was a bit part. It wasn't even supporting. It was a bit part. Yeah. And then she was doing like other supporting parts. And then Jordan Peele comes along and gives her that role, and she's like amazing, and people are like, oh, she's amazing, and where'd she come from? And it's like, well, she won a fucking Oscar already, but she's still having to fight beyond that. And people who, like Lupita, probably won't be given chances otherwise, and so for them to do a Tyler Perry movie, it probably doesn't hurt their career so much, because I think there is that question of who else is hiring her. So
she won't do it.
You don't think? Do you see Lupita doing a?
I think anybody's got an Oscar is like, Tyler.
Well, okay, so we were talking like what actors would not do one of his movies.
I mean, anybody's got an Oscar. I think only person I think that has an Oscar that would, I could see Jamie Foxx doing some shit with him.
Really?
He seems like he need a check though. Like he seems like sometimes he need a check.
I think
what I'm saying, like, it just feel like he just like I want to go to Atlanta and trick off for the weekend. Yeah. Let me do a movie with Tyler Perry and I could just use all this money and kick it. Because some people think you gotta think like, yo, I'm gonna go to Atlanta. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to make all my money. I'm going to trick off, go to strip clubs. I'm going to go hang out. I'm going to go shopping. And I'm going to do a movie for 5 days. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty established. He probably
but he just like, I just going to trick off and just make some money and get $100,000 from Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Jamie would do it.
His daughter was horrible on the Good Times remake. With the Norman Lear where they did
I did see that.
She was horrible as fucking film. That was a travesty.
Yeah.
That was his daughter too. I was like,
Yeah.
See, that's nepotism when it goes wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jamie Foxx would want too much money. I don't feel like he would. I don't feel like he would.
5 days would be like
yeah,
$500,000.
Exactly. I don't think that he would lower like his salary requirement
He'd be like,
for Tyler
only
Perry.
one day, 100,000, Jamie. I get you out in one day,
Yeah.
and I get you 1,000 full of ones to go to strokers.
Yeah, I think Jamie feels himself too much.
That's
I don't
true.
think he would.
All right, let's go into the Oscars, man. Well, let's talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
Parasite swept everything and said, "Fuck all y'all couches."
Yeah.
Took everything out.
Which was a surprise, and usually get a
Shit,
surprise
they didn't
for
even know.
Best
He
Picture.
said that he was getting ready to leave.
Yeah, well, when he collected the award for best,
Foreign, he thought I was done. He
Best
thought I was done
International.
for the night. I was getting ready to go home.
He actually
Me and
said-
my wife was going to go.
Yeah.
He actually said, like, during the speech, I'm going to start drinking.
Yeah.
And when he won Best Director, then you could tell
like,
that he
I'll
was
be
kind of
drinking
drunk.
all
drunk.
night.
Yeah.
You know, he said, "I'll be drinking all night."
Yeah.
That's the only thing he said in English. He said, "I'll be drinking all night."
Yeah. I was so happy for him. Like, you could see the appreciation and respect and excitement. And yeah, I still haven't seen Parasite.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed to say, so I can't really comment on the film itself. But yeah.
It's great. It's great, and it's weird that it won because it's a very weird movie, and it's very a genre-based movie, and it's.
Is it in the horror genre or drama,
Yeah, no,
or is it its own thing?
It is. So it starts off as kind of a comedy, and then about the middle of the movie, I won't spoil anything, but in the middle of the movie, something happens, and it just kind of throws a wrench into the film and just sort of throws it on its head. And after that, it kind of steps into a new genre. But even through that path, there's still a message in it of wealth disparity, and there's a message of the rich versus the poor. But there's also what I love so much about the movie is it doesn't handle it in such a straightforward way. It also handles it with that nuance of the rich are bad for the most part, but there is some goodness in them, and that the poor have the potential to be as bad as the rich too. So when you're watching, you're like seeing these characters, and you're seeing this like class warfare going on, but then you're seeing like all these like these dynamics of the characters and all these layers to the characters, and it's so interesting. Like the film itself can almost play as like an economic lesson of why people, why the rich are where they are, and it's not always for good reasons, and why the poor are sometimes where they are, and it's not for good reasons also, and then how the rich hold the poor down. So it's just a fascinating movie.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Because he did Snowpiercer too.
I'm sorry?
He did Snowpiercer.
Okay.
Did you see Snowpiercer?
I didn't see that either.
You did see Snowpiercer? Okay.
So, I know you really loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I did. I loved it.
So, and I did too. I did too. There were some other movies.
Like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was. I liked it more the second time I watched it. I think it's one of
I need
those.
to watch it again though. I was finding the end was dope to me, but
I think it's one of those movies that every time you watch it, you'll like it a little bit more. Unlike A Fall from Grace, which I will never watch again. I don't think there's anything new or inspiring I'm gonna find from that. But I do think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood gets better and better every time you watch it. Like every Quentin Tarantino movie, in my opinion.
Well, especially Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because you watch it thinking it's going to be about Sharon Tate and what's going to happen to her. So the whole movie, everything's happening, but you're just like, what's going to happen to Sharon Tate? But once you know that and you watch it again and you're really paying attention to the scenes, then the
and you
stuff
want to
really
know what
jumps
happens
out.
to Leo. Yeah. No, I agree with that. So I think that's the only other. Oh, and Marriage Story. That's the only other. Those are the only two other movies that I saw. I haven't seen 1917 or Jojo Rabbit. So do you think that it was fair that Parasite won, or do you think that it was the Academy's way of trying to make up for Oscar So White?
I think that it's fair that it won in terms of a quality essence. If there were some votes thrown that way for making up for Oscar So White, it's very, very possible. But in this case, at least it went to a good place, and at least it went to a film that, quality-wise, was at least worth it.
Crash.
It was not a Crash. It was not a Green Book. It wasn't something like that. So, which is, it's so. I was talking to my buddy about this. It's so weird that this Academy, the way, like the Academy is almost like the American Electric. How the American Electric swings from like Barack Obama to Donald Trump, and then swings back. And right now you have the Academy that has swung from Moonlight, this very open-minded film that was challenging, race and sex and stuff like that in America. Then it swings to Green Book, which is kind of, this is sort of just like this goofy relic.
Movie.
Yeah, White Savior, sort of like a relic of an 80s
movie. But like reverse.
Yeah, and now it swings back to Parasite, and it's interesting. It's like the same body that is doing this, the same voting body is picking these like completely disparate movies, and it's like back and forth on it. So I don't know.
I felt like all of the Oscars was so intentionally trying to overcome how people felt about it being so white, like from the opening monologue with Chris Rock and Steve Martin. And I was like, I appreciate you making jokes about it, but can we have some like more actual accountability around this, all the way to like even Eminem's performance. I understand he's a white guy, but still, like this rap song being performed. What is it? How many years later after he won?
15.
Yeah,
he won best song, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
for 8 Mile.
Yeah,
it seemed like there was so much.
Is that the first rap song to win a Grammy? Oh, no, not a Grammy, an Oscar.
An Oscar? I'm not sure.
Or is it
when
the
was
Great 666?
Oh my God! Hard Out Here for a Pimp. I'm still mad about that.
No, I ain't mad
that.
about that.
I think that was after 8 Mile.
I think it is. I know it is.
I think that song deserved it more than 8 Mile.
It's the best.
You know what? I love Lose Yourself. I'm sorry.
It ain't
like
better than Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
Yes, it is. I will
and then the way
run
you
my ass off.
Set up with people pimping.
No, I will run my ass off, cycle my ass off to.
Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
No,
you be cycling.
no.
Money for the rent. You ain't know. Come on, man.
That was an
3-6
that was an affirmative action win.
No, it was not. That was a great moment in Black history.
Okay.
Kids are gonna be talking about that like 20 years from now. Like,
remind me what other songs were nominated in here. I feel like there were several other good songs.
Remember 3-6 Mafia won for
it's a good song. I will give you that. It's a good song, but I feel like there were a lot of good songs nominated that year.
Common ended up winning with John Legend for Glory.
Mm-hmm.
The year that 3-6 Mafia won, it just really just burnt in my head because at the time Martin Scorsese had not won an Oscar yet because The Party didn't come out, and it was like this big thing. Martin Scorsese, one of the greatest directors of all time, hasn't won an Oscar. So 3-6 Mafia wins that Oscar. And then when they go off stage, Jon Stewart was hosting that year, and Jon Stewart says the best joke, and he says, for those keeping score at home, 3-6 Mafia, 1 Oscar, Martin Scorsese, 0 Oscars.
I do like that. I like that.
Shout out them though.
Yeah, but it felt like the Academy this year was trying to overcome for not recognizing women and minorities in film this year.
But that was a problem that they created for themselves because there were so many worthy performances in films that could have been put in there.
I cannot believe Us was not nominated for anything.
And I can't believe Lupita specifically was not nominated.
Yes.
She was better than all 5 of those other performances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm surprised Lupita didn't get nominated though.
Yeah. Even like what won Best Original Screenplay this year?
It was Parasite.
Oh, okay. Of course. That's I won everything.
They got like 5.
But
they sweep up everything.
Us should have been nominated.
Yeah, I can't believe it was not even nominated.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was like, man, you already got something last time. They do that old
One, you it. Stop. That's all we owe you.
Yeah, the only person I think they can be nominated multiple times in a row is Meryl Streep.
She gets nominated constantly.
You can't deny her dopeness. Like you just like fuck. Shit, she
didn't get nominated this year.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but in general, she will.
Yeah.
Did she do anything?
Denzel too.
Yeah, she was in Little Women.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Denzel too, though, because Denzel was back to back for the last 5 years in a row. He was nominated. Because he had with Fences, Flight,
Training Day.
Well, I don't know. I was talking about 5 years in a row.
Oh,
he had Fences, Flight. He had a few ones in a row where he was like nominated. He knew he was gonna win. He was like, "They already let my black ass get one already. I ain't gonna win another one. I'm not gonna get another one. That's for sure." So you wanted to go into a thing of talking about diversity a little bit with the Oscars.
Yeah. We already kind of covered it a little wit. There was none. Who was the only black? Was it Cynthia Erivo
in that movie?
Cynthia Erivo, yeah.
Yo, we never reviewed that, but that was an ABC After School special.
Yeah,
I hated that movie.
We were texting about that.
It made me mad in the movie theater.
Yeah. It could have been so much better.
It was an ABC After School special. Like you literally can come in there and just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you okay? Oh, she's gonna pass out. Okay, that's what Harry does." Okay,
yeah,
right.
I agree. For this to be the first story on the big screen to be told about her, I was disappointed.
Because the thing that was gangster about Harriet Tubman was crazy. She literally would pass out for real, and they would have to carry her and just have to remember the path.
Yeah.
Because she would literally be talking and pass out, and it wouldn't be nothing like, we need to go this way. No, they'd be like, we was fucked up. We pulled you over this other tree. Where we gonna go?
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh shit, I did say the path. Well, fuck it, we going around this way now. It was just like any other human. She passed, but she had
she had a TBI, right?
Yeah. And she would just pass out. It wasn't no thing of God passing. No, she was just passing out.
Mm-hmm.
She would she would do speeches. She was and they tried to and I don't want to get into here too much, but they really fucked up the idea of her and John Brown had a very intricate relationship when it came to the freedom of slaves. She was supposed to be there at the Harper's Ferry rebellion. She was the one supposed to get them the guns, all that stuff, but she couldn't get there. Mm-hmm. And they in the Harriet movie, he kids was like, oh, I'm John Brown. They just threw it away oh, John Brown's just here to you. So kids don't need that. John Brown just shows the fuck up. You don't know why he's there. Yeah. He just happened to be on the boat with her. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, you John Brown? Nice to meet you, John Brown. Okay, well.
Yeah.
There's no context with that.
Yeah.
They just made it. It was just whack. And then she was better than me in Bad Night at the Bad El Royale to me.
She was great in.
She was better than
Bad Times in El
Royale. Bad Times in El Royale.
She's fantastic.
Yeah,
I really like her. What was that
Dennis.
shitty movie she was in with
You're gonna
Elizabeth Moss and
not
Elizabeth Moss.
I
sorry.
thought you were gonna talk shit on Widows.
Yes, that's what I mean.
No, Widows is great.
I fucking hate Widows.
She was in Widows?
I hated that movie.
Oh, she was the girl that was the backup girl they had, right? That
Yes.
wasn't married to nobody.
She was the getaway driver.
Right. She was the one that was she was the one crawling down the house and shit, right?
I don't remember Elizabeth Moss in there. Was she?
It wasn't Elizabeth Moss. I was getting that mixed up with The Kitchen, which I also think is terrible.
I heard The Kitchen.
Kitchen's terrible.
It just kind of had the same look for me.
Kitchen's a comic book, actually. It comes from a comic book.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah. Viola Davis.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was too much spitty kissing.
You
You don't think she would? Wait, no. Did she already? No, she didn't.
No,
she didn't. That was Alfred Woodard.
She got to remember her career started later too, though. She was like, "Fuck that! I already took me this long to get my career popping. I ain't going backwards." It just when he did Daddy's Little Girls, he had just came off The Wire. Mm-hmm. You got to give him credit for that. He had just come off The Wire.
I guess.
So, what from this year? What black actors or directors or anything would you say need to be nominated or should have been nominated?
Yeah, Lupita, absolutely.
Lupita. And I'm fine. I was fine. I wouldn't fine if you didn't put us in there, but Lupita herself playing those two roles should have been nominated.
Yeah. I think Us. I think Us should have been. I love Us. It was my number one movie of last year. But I can understand that it's weird and it's a horror, and that's kind of what people would say. But I don't think it's any weirder than Parasite is, and it kind of touches on the same stuff. Honestly, if you haven't seen either movie, it's a great double feature because they really talk about wealth disparity a lot. So, I think Us. I think Us should have been nominated because I think Us is a masterpiece. Yeah. But
Blindspotting a little bit too, man.
Yeah.
Well, Blindspotting was last year.
Well, I was going to ask. Well,
was that 2018?
Yeah.
Was Just Mercy out in time?
That was out in time. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that could have been probably Fox over.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan was kind of the straight role. And
I like Michael B. Jordan, but he's not. He still has some growth.
Yeah.
That he needs to.
I need to see Just Mercy, but I heard he doesn't do as well in there.
Have you seen Just Mercy?
Not yet. No.
Okay. I heard he didn't do as well in there as he could have.
So there
Jamie
is
Foxx?
No, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan. Okay.
There is a character in it, and I won't tell
is
you
what.
what.
Is it O'Shea Jackson's role?
No, he's in it too. But there's another guy who I don't even know who it is. But his character, I don't know who the actor is, but the character steals a lot of the emotional core of the movie. Yeah, and I won't tell you what happens because it's kind of a spoiler. But he was the one I really thought of leaving the movie, and it was before the nominations were out. I was like, I could see whoever that actor is stealing the supporting from Fox probably, but neither of them got nominated.
Yeah. So I feel so underprepared for this because there are so many movies I didn't see in 2019. But
it's a bad year for me for movies too. I didn't see a lot of movies.
So I did see My Name is Dolomite, which I had really low expectations for.
That was good, man.
But this was a comeback for Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy is on a real comeback streak right now.
Yeah, and a callback to Hustle and Flow. It's the same director as Hustle and Flow.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. That's right.
Craig.
It sure is.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy was great. He probably should have been nominated.
Yeah. They holding on to him for that Norbit shit, man. They really won't let him get that.
He's
For
still
Norbit.
getting punished for
He's
Norbit.
getting punished for Norbit, man, because he should have won fucking Best Supporting for fucking Dreamgirls with what was it, Cadillac?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember who beat him, but yeah. Loose.
I was just about to say that. Sorry,
Yeah.
go
I
ahead.
still need to see Loose though.
I haven't seen Loose, but go ahead.
I
I'm
heard
sorry.
it's good.
Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
Loose, I would throw Kelvin Harrison Jr. in, and especially
Yes.
because a lot of times the Academy will nominate an actor for one movie, and it's kind of like a career retrospect nomination.
Yeah.
So like the girl from Little Women, Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh gets nominated for Little Women, and a lot of people were like, "Well, that was kind of from Midsommar too, because she was the lead in Midsommar."
Yeah.
And I feel like Kelvin Harrison Jr. could have gotten that too because he was in Waves.
Yeah,
So,
I have seen Waves,
Yeah.
and I was
still need to
really
see Waves,
impressed
too.
with
I
his
still need to see Waves,
performance
too.
as that.
yeah.
He was fantastic. So I would have said that I would say he got snubbed too.
The one in Loose who really blows me away is Octavia Spencer,
Yeah.
and she is like you know the basic plot of
Yeah,
Loose.
yeah,
you
I know
know?
the basic plot,
So
yeah.
she is like this character. Well, actually, Kelvin is too. So they both are, but they're both characters where you just don't know their motive, and like every conversation they have with each other, it's just. They're like which one is good and which one is bad. I don't know who to root for here, and they both play it so well. But Octavia's already kind of an Oscar darling, so I'm surprised she did not get nominated because
Yeah,
she
I mean,
was.
'cause she didn't win. She didn't win for Best Supporting for The Help, right?
She's won an Oscar. I can't remember what it was for.
She was nominated for that, and she was nominated for the
Hang on.
the fish fucking movie, which I can't remember.
Oh, something about water. What is it called?
A Shape of Water.
Shape
Shape of Water. Thank you.
That movie
I feel
was
like
bad.
she won for The Help. Now let me look it up. Now
Did
it's
she
kind
win for The Help?
I know she won a Golden Globe. Did she win for Hidden Figures? Hang on, let's see.
Or was it Hidden Figures she was nominated for? Don't quote me.
Taraji wasn't nominated for that?
Taraji was.
For Hidden Figures?
Yeah. Hang on. Let's see. Let's double check. So she was nominated for The Shape of Water.
Okay, that's it.
She was nominated for Hidden Figures. She won for The Help in 2011.
Okay.
So did what you call it now win for The Help then?
I don't think Taraji's won an Oscar yet.
No. I'm talking for The Help. Who was we just talked about her that she would never do a Tyler Perry movie. She was in,
oh shoot! I just forgot her name.
Widows.
Lord.
Oh, Viola Davis.
Viola
Thank
Davis.
you.
Did
Yes.
she win for The Help?
She won for something. Let's double check.
Well, no, she won for Fences. That's what it was. She
Oh, okay.
won
when
for
she had all
Fences.
that snot dripping and
Yeah,
stuff.
she
Yeah.
won for Fences. 'Cause I think she
Academy
lost.
loves
I
that
think she
snot.
lost for Best Actress in that year for The Help.
Yeah.
But I think she won. I know she won for Fences.
Yeah. She
Gotcha.
was not.
Nobody even showed. No, everybody knew. Like it was. Everybody knew that she was winning for Fences.
Yeah.
Like it. Like you could even look at. I remember you looked at everybody on the screen. Everybody was like, "Shit, man, I'm gonna get some popcorn or something. I ain't winning this. This has been a long gone thing that she was gonna win this."
Standing right here with you. Yes. Yeah. So she won for Fences, nominated for The Help, and also nominated for Doubt. Which was-
Really?
yeah.
Doubt is so good.
really
and
good.
She is so good in
was
it.
good.
She's nominated for Doubt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
That was that was one of Philip Seymour Hoffman's last movies.
Mm-hmm.
That
Shout out
was-
to
Did Meryl
Kelvin
Streep win
Jr.
for that one?
I don't remember she won. I think they all got nominated.
Yeah.
I mean,
she did a phenomenal
yeah.
job too.
Yeah, I didn't like The Help. It's just you couldn't get. It's just against my blackness to be down with The Help. Sorry.
So wow.
what about Queen and Slim? Did you guys see that one?
I did not see
I
it.
saw Queen and Slim, and I was
didn't see
very,
it.
very disappointed.
Please,
in Queen
yeah,
and Slim.
please don't ruin it for me. I've
I'm
gone
not.
this long without hearing any
No,
spoilers.
no spoilers for.
But nobody
just-
had an Oscar-worthy performance in that.
Fuck no.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it was very predictable. Did you see Queen and Slim?
I saw it. Yeah.
Very predictable.
Yeah.
Very stereotypical too, to a certain extent. I
Mhm.
feel like if this movie's made in 95, 94, it'd have been fine. But I feel like in 2020 or 2019, we don't need that predictable movie that's in theaters. Like if it's on Netflix or something, I would have got it.
Yeah.
But
So
not in theaters.
it was a movie I was really emotionally engaged with, but then
Yeah.
afterwards I started thinking about it, and I thought, and it's not a spoiler, I
Yeah.
promise, but there's a scene where there's a sex scene in it, and you remember what's happening,
Yeah.
what they're juxtaposing with,
Yeah.
and afterwards I was like, I don't
Yeah,
know
and
how
then
appropriate that was.
One of the major points with the kid, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that didn't even make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like the one thing, Raven. It's not even spoiling. The cop that pulled them over. No. You
It's
saw it in the
not.
Go ahead and
previews.
talk. I'm gonna hold my ears.
It's in the previews, Raven.
I'm still not hearing you.
That cop was overly racist.
That cop
like
was,
that's like overly I know people are racist but I've never seen someone just be that overtly racist.
That guy's actually a musician I love. And
that's what I heard. He's supposed to be pretty cool.
He's really soft spoken. Yeah. He's a country musician who's really like progressive. So
that's what I heard though. But I'm thinking like he's over like. I don't know about anybody. It's like 1950s racism.
Yeah,
like, get out the car, nigger. Like, whoa, like, what are we doing here? Like, come on, and I thought it would have been more. And I thought that scene in general, I thought it'd been more if it would have been a situation where it was that line was way greater.
Yeah.
Instead of being overtly like, oh yeah, that cop should have got shot.
Well, and honestly, the movie is like that. Like every character comes on screen after 10 seconds, you just know what box they're in, and they don't leave the boxes. Yeah.
And that's the thing, Raven. It's like everything is stereotypical.
Okay. I mean, I figured that. I was figuring it would be like a predictable, like, I wasn't listening. I'm trying. I really do want. I know. I'm not. I have very low.
Divorce and stuff. You know, whatever she's going through, with the girl.
I have very low expectations.
Rio of Red Legend.
Okay.
That's her girlfriend.
All right.
Shout out to the other Oscar winner.
Who?
Cynthia Rio. That's her girlfriend.
Who?
Really? Wait.
Okay, so
allegedly.
But the woman who played Queen. No. I'm thinking of Queen and Slim again. Yes. Sorry, I forget what her name is.
She's
engaged to Joshua Jackson. I'm sorry, and she's pregnant right now.
Yeah. Because Joshua Jackson is in. That's Pacey, right?
Yeah, Pacey.
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. I was shopping Pacey.
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek.
Pacey
old like us though.
How old is she?
She's like.
She's young.
She maybe 30.
Okay.
Pacey's older than us.
Yeah, a little bit. Not that much. Okay, so like I said, there are a lot of movies I have not seen, but I just pulled up a few critically acclaimed black movies. So, I mean, even though Oscar's so white, I don't necessarily believe in affirmative action in filmmaking. Like, I don't think you have to pick a black movie to make sure you have diversity, or you have to pick a female director to make sure you have diversity. I think that movies should be judged on their merits. So on that point, I kind of agree with Stephen King a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think he could have worded, his perspective a little bit better.
Stephen King live, that was some bullshit.
Yeah, he didn't say it right. I understood what he was trying to say, and I don't necessarily disagree with that point. But I do think that if you recognize that all of the movies that are nominated and all the actors that are nominated are of one hue, you should take a look at your rubric and see how you're evaluating things and double check to see if you've left somebody out and why.
I mean, the Oscar's run by a black woman though. She's the head of the Academy.
But she's not. I mean, it's just voted on by the members, though. So there's only so much you can do.
Right.
Something they can do is right now how the best pictures work. It's just really goofy. It's like up to 10 movies, but sometimes it's 7. Some
5. It could be 6.
And I feel like if it is like first of all, just go ahead and just make it 10. Just make it 10. Because what they do now is they say it's up to 10, but you have to get X amount of votes. So if a movie...
It's like the Iowa caucus.
It's just... we don't know who's nominated yet.
Right, no, it's like a certain amount, and go to the next round.
Yeah. And it's like just go ahead and expand it to 10, and then you can get more films, which would probably just equal more diversity. And I feel like also what else they could do is if they're going to have 10 nominees or 7 or 9, whatever weird numbers they have, why don't you expand directors too? Because that's what everybody says. They say, oh, there's 9 films directors nominated, but there's 5 best directors. So in reality, there's 5 best films. They look at the 5 directors, and
nobody's not going to have one best director, not been nominated for best director, not one best.
Yeah. Film. So it's like this year, Mary Shore gets nominated, but Noah Baumbach does not get nominated for best director. So everyone's like, it's not going to win. Yeah. So what they could do is they could expand both, and then just by sheer numbers, they will more than likely get more people. I mean, just more people, period, which could equal more diversity or something like that.
I kind of like when they had the popular category. I know people didn't like it.
Oh, yeah, they got rid of that.
I kind of like that, though. Because there's no way that you shouldn't have Avengers Endgame in there. It shouldn't be getting something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all see how Scorsese was happy when Avengers Endgame didn't win Best Special Effects?
Was he?
Oh, he was hyped.
Oh, really? I didn't pay attention.
They showed him like, oh, yeah.
Like, I missed that.
That's straight up hater, man. I love you, Scorsese, but you're a hater for that. You're one of my favorite filmmakers, but you're a hater for that one.
Well, and there shouldn't be affirmative action, but I mean, the people who they need to pick better movies. They need like that's what a lot of people say. You'll see people on Twitter, and they'll be like, a movie should just be based on its merit, and it should not be based on anything else. But then it's like, who honestly thinks that Joker is better than Little Women, or who honestly like right now it's mediocrity being allowed in because it like matches the standardness that we've been used to. Mm-hmm. So someone like Todd Phillips is only, the idea is like he is being nominated because he's somebody who's been in Hollywood for 15 years or 20 years, however long he's been there, and he has a relationship with a lot of the voters. Yeah. So he's getting in there. So he's the one who's getting in out of like this.
Like he's paid his dues.
Yeah, he's paid his dues. So he's getting in there because of he's getting special treatment. That treatment comes from him being friends with a lot of the voters, but that's essentially why he is getting in. So what they're saying, I think, by allowing more diversity in is to get rid of the special favors. Mm-hmm. It's not to give special favors to minorities.
So if you win, you get a vote, right? If you're an Oscar winner, don't you get a
vote? So the Oscar, yes, you're in the Academy, but the Academy also invites people in that don't. It's kind of random. It's like a club.
So like Spike Lee has a vote in that.
Spike Lee has a vote. Yeah, Spike Lee definitely does.
Yeah.
But then they allow just like other random people in. There's no like rules. What you need to do is you just need to be invited in, and why you got invited in.
It doesn't matter.
It's kind of up in the air. Like there's no rules that decides that per se.
I hated Spike Lee's outfit. He looked like he was there to get people's bags.
I appreciate that though.
I didn't. I understand.
If you ever see me at the Oscars, I'm gonna be dressed ignorant.
It was a tribute to Kobe, but it was terrible.
What did he read? Did he read screenplay?
For screenplay.
He looked pretty happy about Parasite winning.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, because he won last year for Black Klansman.
Yeah, that's right.
For Black Klansman, he was super hyped.
Yeah.
So I just pulled up an article. This is the best black movies of 2019. Okay. So I just want to name a few of them. You tell me if you've seen them and if you think that they were snubbed.
Pretty black.
So we talked a little bit about Queen and Slim, My Name is Dolomite, and Us. Mm-hmm. I've never heard of The Boy Who Harnessed Wind.
I saw that.
You saw that with Chidwell?
But that I thought that was I thought it was year before. But yeah, that was all right.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Black and Blue I heard of, but never saw it or had a desire to see it. It was bad.
I mean, I know Tyrese was in it. It was Tyrese
and Naomi Harris.
Yes.
I like Naomi Harris.
I know, but it's Tyrese.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
There you go. He's great in Fast and Furious films, but other than that, we good.
Okay. Shaft, Samuel L. Jackson.
I watched that on the plane a few weeks ago. It was cute.
It was cute.
Very cute. Yeah.
Nobody needed an Oscar for that though.
No, but it was cute though. It was cool. Like it was like, because I like Jesse T. Usher, man. He's a funny little dude though. Man, he ain't a little bigger than me, but I mean, he's a funny dude.
You a little dude.
Jesse T. Usher.
I said you're a little dude.
I know. I said I can't call him a little dude. He's bigger than me.
Mm-hmm. All right, just want to make that clear in case people hadn't seen you just listening.
I mean, I ain't that small though, motherfucker. The thing is though, it got so bad, man. When we did our live podcast, they was like, "Man, you bigger than I thought you was." Everybody said you was small, but I thought you was like 5'4" or something. No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, it was cool though. I mean. Mm-hmm. If you did you see the first Shaft?
No.
The first one with John Singleton directed?
I didn't.
It's fine, man. It's fun. Like, it's a funny movie.
Okay. All right.
It's a father-son funny movie because it's Shaft with his son.
Mm-hmm. The Intruder. I didn't see that.
Oh, the same director that did Black and Blue did The Intruder. So there you go.
All right.
Keep going.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, like, I want to have a fair conversation about whether black movies were snubbed. So this is Ranker.com's list of best black movies of 2019.
This is in order.
This is in order.
Hold on. Queen and Slim was number 1.
Yeah. Queen
and
Slim.
So where the fuck is Us then?
3.
Wow.
What was 2?
Queen and Slim was 1. Dolomite is My Name is 2. Us is 3.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go through a few more of these. What Men Want, what I saw with Taraji. No.
Is this
So maybe maybe we can't trust Ranker.com's list.
What else you got?
Just Mercy is number 11.
Okay.
Last Black Man in San Francisco, which I heard
I heard that should be higher. I heard that was good.
I heard it too. I got through 16 minutes.
Is it slow?
It's very artsy, and I think I just wasn't watching.
I loved it.
I'm gonna try to give it another chance. I was not in the right frame of mind when I was watching it, so I think I need to try to.
I gotta be able to sit here and watch it.
But it kind of matters like what you qualify as a black movie because it's a white director, and so I don't know.
Oh, the black movie is 80% of the people in the movie have to be black.
Is that it?
That's the scale.
That's too well. So Last Black Man in San Francisco is
interesting. Be a black director. 80% of the people.
So it's interesting because he is the director, but the main actor is like his best friend from childhood, and
really?
the main actor is black. And so the
Is
movie,
that Jimmy Fails?
yeah. So the movie is written and created by the two of them, but the director, I think his name is Joe Tobbit. I think his name is. He's the one who directs it just because that's just what he's trained at, and that's just what he does. But it's really their creation together.
Okay.
And Jimmy Fails was going around promoting it.
Joe Talbot is the director.
Joe Talbot. Yeah.
Okay.
It's great, but it is very artsy. But I like very artsy. So.
Yeah, I mean, because I loved Sorry to Bother You, which was also really artsy.
I love Sorry About You. Some people
It was
shitting on
so
it.
good.
That
I
was my favorite
loved
movie
it.
last year.
Yes, it was up. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but it was up there. It was up there, and I.
Do you know what those two movies have in common too?
Oakland?
It is.
Oakland.
It is.
Well, Bay Area.
Oh, well, yeah, Bay Area. That's true. But what else they have in common is Danny Glover. And
Huh.
Danny Glover has like turned into this actor that when he shows up, you know, it's probably like a good movie. like
Yeah.
yeah, because I feel like Danny Glover is like past acting, and he only wants to do small things and things that he believes in. So he's not the kind of person who would give time to something that sucks. So whenever I see his name as a supporting cast, I always feel like it's something he believed in. Weirdly, so.
I'm really not trusting Ranker's list right now
else you
since
got?
they have Don't Let Go on
Another
here.
movie that should have been not black, but it's The Farewell.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about that in a second because I just saw
Yeah.
that. But let me just finish the Ranker list
go
real
ahead.
quick. So the next one they have on here is Don't Let Go, which I thought was one of the worst movies I saw,
Let Go? Which one was
with
that?
Daniel Loyo and Storm Reed, where she like died and he was trying to go
he's
back
trying
and
to get
save her.
his niece or
it was-
something like that.
Yes,
Oh,
it was
so it
so
was
bad.
bad?
It was
Okay.
horrible, absolutely
Okay.
horrible. The acting was good. The story was shitty. Harriet is on here as number 15.
Fuck that.
I mean, at this point, that's a masterpiece. With
Yes,
the rest
by
of this list.
comparison. Yeah, Point Blank, which I didn't see, but I like Frank Gio and Anthony Mackie is in it. I don't even know what this is about, but it's a Netflix movie that they say is one of the best.
Which one? With who?
Point Blank,
I mean,
Frank
heard of that
Grillo.
one?
He was in.
It was on Netflix?
He was in.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
He's in the Avenger movies.
Yeah, he's in the Avenger
Or,
movies, and the
Oh,
Captain,
no, I saw
Captain
that.
America
I saw
movies.
this movie with Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a nurse or whatever, and he had to get. He got kidnapped. There was a whole bunch of shit. It was alright.
It was
It's
alright.
my dude that played. He played Crossbones,
Yeah, he's
And,
in a. Why can't I remember?
and
the
he
name
plays
of it?
the main character in the what are the movies where like
Where they're killing people.
yeah, what's the end of, like not in the
Purge.
What?
The Purge.
Purge.
Thank you,
He's
The
the main-
Purge,
yeah,
because I
Purge.
love The Purge actually. Yes.
The Purge 3 is a fucking masterpiece on the low.
Those movies get better.
That
yeah.
Purge 3 is fucking good. You know that's a black director too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did the movie about pledging that's on that was on Netflix a couple years ago about black fraternities. What is it called? But he's a Q though too.
So there's only been
That's fucking good.
so there's only been 3 purges, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the last one was weirdly good.
That's the one. That's the one he directed.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the one he directed.
and
The guy
it did
from,
feel
A
like
prequel. It was like a prequel of everything.
The
that
other
happened.
two, yeah.
yeah. Oh, it was
Yeah,
good.
that
yeah,
was
it
good with Tessa Thompson.
Yep.
Was she
No,
in it? No, it wasn't her. It was.
that's the fourth one I'm talking about. The third one, because that one guy, he's in like 2 of them.
Okay.
Am I right? Is he in 2 of them?
He's in 2. Yeah. Grillo,
Yeah.
Frank Grillo, whatever
It's
his name was.
the
Yeah.
prequel. The prequel where they show where they're doing the testing of
Yeah, the one with the
Purge
guy-
on Staten Island.
I can't think of his
yeah.
name right now, but the one from Insecure.
Oh yeah. He played he was super Negro in there, man. That dude was man. I haven't been that proud to see somebody black man just dodging bullets like that, like in situations. He played Issa's boyfriend
Yeah.
on there.
One of them.
It's the Purge prequel.
Yeah. Hang on. We
is
gotta
it?
look this up. We gotta know this one.
It's the first Purge. Purge 4, the first Purge. That's the fourth one. That's the one with the black director.
Okay, that one is really good.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you're talking about. The last one.
Election Year.
Election year, yeah.
Election Year
Yeah.
is the third one.
Election Year is the third one?
Yeah, the
Okay.
one with him in it is First Purge, and that's the one directed by Gerald McMurray.
Oh, that's not Anarchy, is it? No.
Yeah, no, this is the fourth
Okay.
one.
Oh, the
'Cause
first
it's
Purge,
he's
Yolande Noel.
Noel.
Yeah.
Yep. And Lex Scott Davis is up in there though.
Yeah, that's the girl.
Yeah, the girl in there.
Okay. Yeah, I liked that one.
That one was weirdly deep though. Like
It didn't
how they
get
trapped everybody on the Staten Island.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay.
critics didn't seem to like it though.
Yeah, but that one was. I think that might have been the best one.
I like all of them.
Yeah, I like the Purge. Look, I watched the TV show. Have you watched the Purge TV show?
No.
It's on USA. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Is it?
Okay.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
Let's get back to this list real quick, and then we can.
Burning Sands is the movie that everybody want to see it with Gerald McMurray's first movie.
Got
the
it.
guy did that one. It's called Burning Sands.
Okay, so Loose and Waves are both on Ranker's list. Again, I haven't seen Loose yet, but I liked Waves. I thought it was really good.
Waves was a white director again, but 80%. So 80%. So.
According to Daryl's standards, and I guess according to Ranker's as
I'm
well.
telling you,
Yeah.
I know, it's 80%.
I mean, I guess if the lead actors are black,
Yeah,
or,
80%
or if it's about a black issue, I guess it's considered black.
black. Like and preferably if none of the black characters talk to any white characters besides if they're in a convenience store.
Okay.
They get extra points for that.
So a couple other films, and then I'll say the last one that really just made me lose respect for Ranker's list. So there's also Native Son, which I saw.
That was weird.
I
Have
didn't
you read
care
the
for
book?
So I didn't care for the movie, but I love Ashton Sanders,
He's a good actor.
and I think that he is phenomenal. I think he's up and
Have you watched
coming.
Wu-Tang? The Wu-Tang?
Not yet. No, it's on my list.
It's fucking good.
He is so good, and
He's
he is a
fucking good.
very unique young man.
Oh yeah, I've seen his Instagram.
Yeah, he's kind of androgynous. It's,
He's real weird.
which I'm kind of surprised about. But I guess it kind of, I don't know. Somebody was like, "Did Moonlight fuck him up?" I'm like,
No,
no,
he was.
no. I think he was probably attracted to that role because of who he is.
But if you ever read the book Native Son, they pull back a lot from that movie, from the book. So in the book, he kills his girlfriend. So that part where he was like, he kills her in the book. And he kills like random people like that, like throughout the movie, quote unquote, accidentally. So they pull back on that. Like he rapes a lot of like women in there, all kind of shit. And they pull back on that in the HBO version of that.
Wow.
Because then the director said like, I couldn't go there. Like, and that makes sense though. You can't. That book is 1950s book. Like, you couldn't do that.
So another one on the list is High Flying Bird, which I also didn't see.
That was good.
I saw that.
But
High Flying Bird was good. Soderbergh, that was good, man.
Okay, so do you feel like Andre Holland or Zazie Beetz was
they were
overlooked?
good, but it's a Netflix movie. It's hard to get. You have to be in theaters, right, to be. Because that's
I
how
thought it had to just be like in a short period of
The
time.
Irishman did that. That's how Irishman went like a week.
I think it's eligible. Marriage Story. I guess that went to theaters too. But that was a
because I
Netflix
think
movie.
they put it in theaters for a certain
But I don't
period
think
of
High
time to be
Flying Bird
nominated.
Well, I think what hurt High Flying Bird was it had like an April release or something really early. I feel like if they had the faith in it to release it later, I think he would have had a chance to be nominated for Best Actor at least. Like he is really good.
Andre Holland,
Andre
he's
Holland is
phenomenal.
really
I love
good.
him. So the movie that made me lose all respect for Ranker's list is number 25, A Medea Family Funeral. So with that, we can ignore the rest of what Ranker has to say.
So Tyler Perry did 2 movies last year.
Yeah, I think he did. He probably did about 12. I don't know.
movies.
So
I don't know.
want to talk about The Farewell. Did you see The Farewell?
Yes, I just saw it. I watched it on my plane ride home from Seattle this weekend. I was in tears. It made me think a lot about my grandmother. Yeah, I loved it.
Aquafina, you up in here?
She's
doing
so
some real shit?
good. After that, I was like, I need to go back and watch Crazy Rich Asians
Hey,
because
man,
I loved her in that
movie.
too.
She's the best part of that
Oh,
movie.
she's hilarious. I love her. So it was nice to see her do a comedic role and then turn around and do a serious role. I have a lot of respect for her. I like her a lot.
Did you see
I
The
did. I
Farewell?
loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she, the director of it, Lulu Wang, she's one that people were pissed that did not get nominated or did not get
That
any
movie was
recognition
good. It was
at all.
an interesting concept, the way that
Yeah.
they have The Farewell. This year was like, all right, man. And then they try to a certain extent, I could see how some people could think that Parasite winning was a retract because they fucked up with the nominations. I feel like.
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Not having seen it, that's kind of where my
Did you see Little
thoughts
Women?
went.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's great. I mean,
It's like the 5th time we've done it, though, right?
it is, but it's the first time they've done it since like 1994. I mean, it's the
With
5th time
Winona
since
Ryder and,
with Winona Ryder, and you know, people were saying, "Oh, it just got done," but the other people were like, "How many fucking Spider-Man movies do we get?
Exactly.
We get a Spider-Man movie
And
every
Hulk,
year."
and yeah.
But this movie, this version of Little Women, isn't necessarily about the book. It is about the book, but she also includes the writer. It's really interesting. She includes like the writer's life into the book too. So like imagine somebody redid The Shining, but it actually included like parts of Stephen King's life into the movie too. And it was really just like kind of fascinating how she did it.
I do want to see. I didn't really feel like I needed to see it. I love Little Women. It was one of my favorite books growing up. I read
really?
it probably.
Okay.
I think I read Little Women probably more than any other novel as a teenager.
Really?
I loved it.
Okay.
And then I liked the movie with Claire Danes and Winona Ryder
Never
and
seen any of the
Amy.
Little Women movies.
What is her name? Amy. Shoot, I'm forgetting her name.
In the new one?
The one that played.
In the 90s.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. Anyway, the one that was with River Phoenix in that one movie. Anyway, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, I liked that version, and I was kind of like, I don't really need to see Little Women told on screen again. But even just after seeing the clips, and I love Saoirse, I feel like I want to see it.
Yeah.
Gabriel Byrne, I'm sorry, not Gabriel.
Gabriel Byrne? I love Gabriel Byrne. No, I'm talking about one of the sisters. I can't think of her name right now.
So I've never read Little Women. I mean, like most guys, I haven't read Little Women. I never even seen the original version. So this was the first one that I went into. And I'm not sure how the book works, but I know there's like a time jump. Or there's like two books or something like that.
Yeah.
But how the movie handles it, the new version, are the time jumps are like immediate. So
Really?
you'll see
So
like
it goes back and forth?
it goes back and forth,
Okay.
and in the movie gives you no warning. So you after like the first like 15 minutes, I was so confused, and then I started to like kind of reorientate myself.
Like, who is this adult? Who is this random adult?
Yeah,
You know?
so it would have like Ronan's character or Florence Pugh's character would be walking out of a room, and then it cuts to her walking into a new room, and that new room is the time jump, and it's later on when they're adults, and it takes a minute. So I'd say when you watch it, if you're not familiar with the source material, they do change the look a little bit.
Okay.
So when you see the look changing, that means it's later in time. But I knew that. I saw a critic screening before the movie even came out, so I knew nothing about this. And I was so lost at first. I was like, what the hell? This character, this just happened to this character. Why are they just walking around in this scene? And but once you put it together, it's pretty good. It's pretty fascinating.
I think the original one, or the original, I guess, film, if that is the original. But anyway, I think that was like Kirsten Dunst's second movie after Interview with a Vampire. And so she played Amy Smart, who was then played by Samantha Mathis. That's what I was trying to think of as an adult.
Samantha Mathis is what you think about? Okay.
Yeah, and I like that character too. She was my favorite character in the book. Joe got on my nerves. Yeah, so I'm kind of interested in seeing this new version of it.
Yeah.
Does Saoirse play Joe? I'm guessing that fits.
Though,
It's like somebody like, oh yeah.
but I mean, The Farewell was up there. I mean, it was just as good. Like The Farewell is excellent.
That's one of them. And another
Oh
one,
yeah.
It this year was okay. Well, first of all, is there a better filmmaking couple in the world than Lulu Wang and Barry Jenkins? Like they are together. Like if they have kids, their kid is gonna be just like the future of film.
Cocaine head.
It's gonna be all messed
No,
up.
the reason I say is because God is George skipper generation is gonna be their kid. They grew up in this cocaine environment. That's gonna end up being like the genius. That's the one, not the direct descendant. It's always skipping a generation.
Barry Jenkins did Beale Street. Good talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and he and Lulu.
So his wife is who?
Lulu Wang, the director of Farewell.
That's his wife?
Mm-hmm. So they're a couple. Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if they're married. They're together.
But still, like.
But they're together, yeah. And so so last year he did Beale Street, and then she did Farewell this year, and I hope they stay together because I feel like they're just gonna feed off each other and just.
Beale Street Stars another one. I think it kind of got snubbed a little bit too.
I disagree.
You didn't like Beale Street?
It was fine. I didn't think it was wonderful.
Really? Okay.
It was kind of slow and boring for me. I mean, because that was 2018 anyway. But
no, 2019, January.
It was
January.
It was in
2019.
I think it was an 18 release though. Technically.
Yeah.
Like if technically 18.
Yeah, because didn't Regina win for it?
Yeah, because she won. She won Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, okay.
If it gets
so it was
in,
edge.
If it gets in like New York or LA before New Year's Eve, it's counted for that year.
Okay.
So it was a 19 release for us, but they got it in early.
Yeah.
I did not know they were doing that.
But yeah, I mean,
a cool
last
couple.
year was a really good year for female filmmakers, and that was a reason that people were really pissed off. So it wasn't just a form of like asking for affirmative action; it was the fact that there were just like some amazing movies.
Yeah.
There's one called Portrait of a Woman on Fire that is excellent. It was it's a French film, so it kind of has that against. But I mean, a Korean movie won Best Picture, so you can't really make that excuse. But that was a movie that a lot of people were pretty pissed off did not get any recognition at all. Hustlers.
Ugh.
I know, but
Let's
No.
talk about that for a second.
No.
You don't.
No. Yes, I've
didn't
seen
see it. I
it.
didn't see
Nobody in that movie deserved an Oscar. That movie did not deserve an Oscar.
So why
Jennifer
was
Lopez looks phenomenal.
So what is it? What was the hype? I mean, I haven't seen it. So why was everybody?
She did better in that movie than she's done in other movies, but it still was not Oscar worthy.
Okay.
yeah.
And I think people liked the idea of women getting revenge on shitty men
Okay.
or taking advantage of nasty men. But I mean, it was entertaining. There was nothing about the movie that was Oscar worthy, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Well, I saw. I know I'm directing the movie about pole dancing, but I saw like in that world there were a lot of people who were talking about how unrealistic it was. So it seemed like in the pole world there was some pushback on it not being realistic in that case, which I don't necessarily care about.
I don't know. There's a difference between the pole world and the stripper world.
Yeah.
So I just want to draw that very, very clear line. You're doing a movie about pole dancing, not strippers. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Hustlers, some of them might be strippers who pole dance.
Yeah, my movie does deal with some strippers, but it is pole dancing.
Yeah,
primarily.
so Hustlers, they were strippers who used the pole as a part of their act.
And did you guys ever read about the girl story? The main one that's who's the main girl in there? That one from Fresh Out the Boat. She's the main.
Oh, the Asian woman in that.
Yeah,
I can't think of her name right now.
So the base, like the whole. I mean, I guess you've seen the movie, but they were like basically taking cats' credit cards, running them up, and then saying like, "We gonna tell your wife."
They were drugging them.
Yeah,
and stealing their money.
Stealing their credit card and running it up.
Constance Wu is her name.
Constance Wu. And it was like, that's a dope concept for a movie, but I don't know if that's Oscar worthy.
No, and it's not a concept; it's a true story.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that people were really wanting was Jennifer Lopez to be nominated for supporting actress.
Jennifer, I love you. You look phenomenal for 50, baby. You didn't deserve an Oscar for this movie.
She played the one. Because the one main girl is like the girl that she was playing is suing them for using her likeness or whatever. The girl that. She was like, she didn't look as good as her or something like that.
Oh, my God.
That
is the basis of her lawsuit.
Okay.
I haven't heard about this. I hope
there's some other layers in your lawsuit besides she didn't look as good
I hope
as
so,
did.
too, because that's not a basis for a lawsuit.
And you don't even know how the other looked on. You just automatically, it's like, I know you lying.
No.
Just a random stripper in Queens ain't looking as good as Jennifer Lopez.
I hate Julia Stiles, too.
Yeah.
I've hated her ever since Save the Last, or what's that what it's called?
Save the Last Dance.
Save the Last Dance. I hated her.
She was in that movie?
She was in that movie.
She was in that movie?
Yes, and we're the same.
She was stripping?
I think no, she was not stripping. She was a reporter, like, doing a
they had Julia Stiles stripping?
No.
This is a horrible movie.
Yeah, no, after Save the Last Dance, I was done with her.
Who's worse, her, what's the girl from, that everybody hates from the Hunger Games?
Jennifer Lawrence. I like Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, who's worse, her?
Jennifer Lawrence is pretty good, I think.
I like her.
Yeah,
I think they're the same person.
I think people find her, and I'm being unfair to Julia Stiles. It was the character I hated.
Yeah,
but I hated her.
Doing little hip hop dances up in the club in the 90s.
I'm like, she did that one table dance and 10 Things I Hate About You, and suddenly you think she's the best white woman to portray a dancer in a movie. Like that was so shitty.
Julia Stiles, shout out to Julia Stiles. You can holler at me. It's all good.
While we're still on female directors, there's another one that I loved. I absolutely loved from last year, and I understand why I didn't get nominated because it's too violent. It's kind of a horror. It's pretty much a horror. It's in that genre at least. It's called The Nightingale. Have you heard
I've
about
heard
this?
of that, but I haven't seen that yet either.
Okay, so I probably have because horror. It's a female director. It's by the director of The Babadook. Mm-hmm. So her name is Jennifer Kent, and she made this movie. It's in Australia also, but it's a period piece this time. So she's an Australian filmmaker, and it's an Australian film, and it is a rape revenge movie. So it's along that line of like, this lineage of filmmaking, like Last House on the Left and I Spit in Your Grave. Like these movies are all like it's so much that it has its own subgenre. And so she made one, and it was really interesting seeing a movie like that made by a female, where a lot of like rape revenge movies that are made by men, it's about a woman who's raped, and then they come back and they get revenge, and there seems to be like a healing quality to it. But I think it being directed by a female, she was not going to allow that quality, that sort of like catharsis to happen when she gets the revenge. So she's still like as hurt and as damaged as before, and it kind of shows the revenge in a way that might have been like futile, like it's a way that
it's not as satisfying as
it's not as satisfying, and it's also like questions. Did it make it worse? Like has it made her life worse? But the other thing that's really interesting about that movie is it takes place in the 19th century. She is a white woman in Australia, and obviously Australia, like America, had its own colonization going on back then. So it had white Europeans coming down, taking over the land, and she's raped by a powerful white man, and she's left to die. And she's not just raped, other shit happens. Like, people close to her die. It is a brutal scene. It's one of the most brutal scenes ever. So what happens, though, is she wants to find them and get revenge. So she finds an Aborigine who is treated terribly by the white people, and who's a tracker. So she knows that this guy can help her track them down.
Get there.
And so it's so fascinating because she and him develop this friendship, and she is like has essentially been oppressed, being a woman in this time period by these men. But the Aborigine guy, they have their own relationship, their own dynamic, and he's calling her out for what they've done to his people. And there's so many like different just like layers. And it's so interesting. It's such a great movie.
Hulu for anybody who wants to
that's why I was trying to look that up.
But
but
like I said, just be prepared, because that part that happens is like the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark, when she's raped and all of that. When it played at festivals, people walked out. Like, people could not handle it.
Oh, wow. Does it just go on too long, or is it too...
It goes on very long, and something specific happens to her, to one of her children, that really like messes people up.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's more than her being raped. It's watching her family be torn apart too. Yeah, in front of her. And it's such a good movie, though.
So before we get out of here, we're gonna run through the Razzies.
Oh God!
The great movies. Let's finish it up. We're talking about the worst movies of the year. Nominated for Worst Picture, Cats.
Oh, I didn't see it, which sucks because I wanted to.
Yeah.
The Fanatic.
I did not see that.
The Haunting
one.
of Sharon Tate.
I did.
Yo, this director is a genius. Because he just did the one with Nicole Simpson. So he basically takes these different stories and he flips them into like a horror movie and like a thriller, and makes the woman be wrong, like, almost. So like with the Nicole Simpson thing, they make it like, you know, she was inviting these guys over and they killed everybody type thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a horrible director, but it's funny. So he did the Sharon Tate movie too.
What I hear is just terrible.
Yeah, the Medea family funeral is
that needs to be on there.
Rambo First Blood.
Oh, I hear it's terrible.
I didn't even hear that.
Worst director, Fred Durst, The Fanatic.
Yep.
Hold on, Fred Durst?
Yep, Limp Bizkit, he directed it. That's the only reason that movie got any traction whatsoever.
Hey, hold on, John Travolta let Fred Durst direct him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Travolta needs Tarantino to save his career a second time, because he is hit right by.
Really did him wrong.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Tom Cruise thrive. They ain't let him out for that.
What list are you looking at, Daryl?
On Wikipedia.
Okay, I'm looking at CBSNews.com. They have Brightburn on here, which I didn't think that was that bad.
For what's
Brightburn.
For worst movies?
Yeah.
No, I look at the Razzies. They actually have their own award show.
Okay.
Worst actor, James Franco in Zeroville.
I did not see that.
David Harbour in Hellboy. I still haven't finished it.
I've heard it's
5
bad.
times on the plane.
That's a good sign.
Is Glass on that list?
Glass is not on this list, but it should be. I don't know. It's on here somewhere. I think I remember seeing it. Sylvester Stallone, Rambo, Last Blood. John Travolta, the Fanatic, and another one for Trading Pain. He got 2 nominations.
Oh wow! I have no idea what Trading Pain is.
He got 2 different movies nominations. And Matthew McConaughey in Serenity.
Oh God, Serenity's awful.
Is that bad?
It's fucking terrible.
Really? He did a poor job, or the movie was bad?
He's fine. I mean, the movie's just awful. The movie is just. It's so hard to separate actor from content sometimes.
They have the Goldfinch on their list too, which I actually didn't think was that bad.
I didn't see it. Was it?
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad at all. Ansel Elgort and Nicole Kidman are in it. I thought it was kind of interesting. I think it's worth watching.
Actress, Hilary Duff, The Haunting of Sharon Tate. She plays Sharon Tate.
Hilary Duff.
Yeah, she plays Sharon Tate.
Okay.
Did you guys see that movie?
No.
Okay.
It's this other guy.
I didn't see it either.
Were they trying to ride on?
Gets nominated twice.
Were they trying to ride on Hollywood's coattails? Like what?
I think they were.
The Razzies is basically like Oscars, but for the worst.
No. I mean, the Sharon Tate movie.
I don't think so. I think they were in production at the same time. Okay. It just happened to come out.
Yeah, because they got Nicole Brown Simpson when they came out this year too.
Okay.
Same director, same guy.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Anne Hathaway is nominated for 2 movies.
Anne Hathaway gets on my nerves.
The Hustle and Serenity.
The Hustle.
Oh my God! No, that was the movie with Rumor, the British. I'm sorry, not British. She's not British. Australian comedic.
Oh, the one Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She was in Cats also.
She was also in Cats.
Yeah,
Was that the other one she was nominated for?
Yeah, she's nominated for this as well for The Hustle. Rebel Wilson's nominated for The Hustle as well for Best Actress.
I remember The Hustle now. Okay, I remember the trailers.
And Tyler Perry is nominated for Best Worst Actress. As
Medea. I like that.
Worst Supporting Actress, James Corden, Cats. Tyler Perry again as Joe from Medea Family. Nominated a second time in the same category for Uncle Heathrow in a Medea Family funeral.
Well, I mean, he played like 7 characters in that movie, so
Seth
he gave himself a
Rogen
lot of
as Zero
opportunities.
Hill. Bruce Willis, Glass.
Yeah.
For Worst Supporting.
He's pretty bad in Glass.
Yeah.
He
Jessica
seems like he didn't want to be
Chastain.
there. Like, he like agreed to do this like 20 years ago.
He's like, man, they got me on contract.
Yeah.
They know it's a lifetime
He just looks
contract.
tired.
Yeah.
In all those movies.
Jessica Chastain, Dark Phoenix for Worst Supporting Actress.
Yeah, she wasn't that great in that movie. The movie wasn't that great.
I refuse to see it.
I didn't see it.
Casey Davis, A Medea Family Funeral. Judi Dench, Cats.
Aw.
Vanessa Pendea, Rambo.
I like
First
Judi
Blood.
Dench. Was Cats really
Rebel
that
Wilson again for Cats.
Well,
She's re-nominated for Best Supporting.
I just
Cats.
hate musicals.
bad? I like musicals. Okay.
So you might you probably hate it. So I hated musicals.
Didn't they redo the CGI in there like the first 2 weeks or something?
Yeah,
Because it was so fucked up with
bad.
CGI.
But the CGI wasn't the problem. I mean, the movie was the problem. But like, I tend to hate musicals, so I kind of hated it like all musicals. But the only thing I defended it with, as I was like, I personally don't think it's much worse than other musicals. And because people are like, oh, cats don't just sing and dance like that, and I was like, well, neither do fucking humans. but for some reason, that flies in other musicals. Mm-hmm. So. I mean, maybe someone who loves musicals, or people who do love musicals, I heard that they've hated it.
Yeah, I heard that it's been pretty universally.
Yeah.
So then, worst screen combo? Anybody? Cats.
That's good.
They just said anybody. Cats.
All of them.
Jason Derulo. Cats. Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry or Tyler Perry. So he has three different.
They're just trolling at this
Yeah,
part.
Sylvester Stallone and his impotent rage. John Travolta, any screenplay he accepts. Worst
just
prequel,
mean.
remake, or ripoff or sequel, Dark Phoenix. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which was, I watched that on the plane, it was not that good.
I couldn't get
that's
through it.
Hellboy, A Medea Family Funeral, and Rambo First Blood.
Hellboy was out again?
Well, yeah, that was with David Harbour got nominated for Worst Actor.
Oh, okay.
Worst Screenplay, Cats, The Haunting of Sharon Tate, Hellboy, A Medea Family Funeral, Rambo Last Blood.
Okay.
The Razzie Redeemer Award. This is for someone that came back from getting the previous Razzie, and now they're redeemed.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer Lopez, Hustlers.
What?
Eddie Murphy, Dolomite's My Name. Keanu Reeves, John Wick 3, and Parabellum, and Toy Story 4.
Oh, okay. So it's people who won Razzies in the past who have done good this year.
Do good this year.
Gotcha.
Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. Will Smith, Aladdin.
Aladdin? He should have gotten a Razzie for that shit.
He redeemed himself. And then last, worst reckless disregard for human life and public property. You gonna like this one.
Okay.
Dragged across concrete. The Haunting of Sharon Tate. Joker.
Joker, there you go.
Hellboy, and Rambo Last Blood.
Joker got nominated for a Razzie. That makes me happy.
Yeah, so no, these are nominated. So the actual Razzies come out. I think it might be this weekend coming up.
I think the Razzies would be fun to attend. Do actors actually go?
Yeah, no, you can go. You can go accept your award.
There have been a few who go as a joke and they kind of accept it, but for the most part, they ask.
Cats has the most nominations in Razzie's history with 9.
Oh my god!
As a movie.
Wow.
So, did you like Cats the play?
I like the play. Yeah.
I've never seen the play.
I heard that. I mean, the movie, and I heard the play's the same way, but the movie is just a bunch of cats who come out and one by one just introduce each other, and then the movie just ends. I was just like,
"Oh, that's the movie."
Yeah, I was like, it was like watching the first act of a movie,
So,
and then it just ends.
I don't know if the play has much more substance to it, but it's at least
cool
to see the stage performance. And I mean, I like singing and dancing, and they're just
is there a
dressed up like
plot line
cats.
to the Cats?
Not really.
Really? Okay.
It's really just
I used to
cats
see it
introduce
on
themselves.
PBS where they try to sell you like the little DVDs and stuff, or the not DVDs.
I mean, the makeup and the
VHS.
the makeup and the dancing and the singing are phenomenal. I can't tell you what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is.
So I didn't actually want to see it, especially when I found out Jason Derulo was in it. I don't know why, he just annoys me too.
So the ceremony is actually this weekend. So
Okay.
we'll have the winners of those.
After the Oscars, that makes sense.
So it looks like Cats is going to sweep a lot of these categories. What? Okay, let's. Who gets the Razzie Redeemer Award? Since that's something actually is positive.
Or the nominations again?
Jennifer Lopez, Hustlers. Eddie Murphy, Dolomite's My Name. Keanu Reeves, John Wick 3, Parabellum, and Toy Story 4. Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. Will Smith, Aladdin.
I think it's Adam Sandler.
I would definitely not say Will Smith. I thought
so Will Smith is out.
Aladdin itself deserves a Razzie. That was a shitty ass movie, and Will Smith was annoying in it.
Okay. Okay.
I would have to go with Eddie Murphy.
We don't know my name.
Yeah. What did he previously get a Razzie for? Norbit.
Probably Norbit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All these people have had they've all had
Razzies before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam Sandler's probably had multiple.
Yeah, I mean he did. I don't know. That's kind of a tough call. I just love Eddie Murphy, but he did do a great job in Uncut Gems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's.
Would you say you saw Uncut Gems?
I did.
I haven't seen Uncut Gems. I need to see that still.
I saw it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, did the movie? I mean, it was essentially just like an anxiety attack.
It did. Like it kind of reminded me of Waves, where there was like no moment like to breathe and like catch your breath, and
but it would just like have these like
it was intense the whole time.
Funny, there's like moments, like the cameo with the father from Good Times. That is one of my favorite moments in any movie this year.
Mm-hmm. And I like Idina Menzel. I think she did a good job.
Yeah, she was great.
Oh wow! So Sandra Bullock accepted hers in 2010.
Oh, did she? She went and accepted.
They have a list of everybody who.
What did she win for?
Worst best actress.
In what movie though?
The Blind Side. They nominated her for The Blind Side.
Was she that bad in that movie?
Yeah, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, and then went to pick up her Razzie the next week.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's funny. What a good sport. So, what movies are you most excited about in 2020?
Ooh. We were just talking about this new Saw movie, Chris Rock.
Oh, really? I haven't seen previews for that.
I just showed him before you came down.
It looks good.
Yeah,
it does.
All right, we'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I'll show you two before we have to get off. It's basically they flip it and make it like it's basically cop Jigsaw's going after cops.
Huh? Interesting. Because I thought the last one was pretty good. I was surprised.
The one that was just called Jigsaw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last one.
That you end up finding out as a prequel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, they play with time like that.
Yeah.
I think this year I'm pretty excited for horror movies that are coming out. Like I'm pretty excited for Annabelle.
I was just about to say that. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm excited for Candyman. And I'm excited about the new Halloween.
Oh, Candyman comes out this year?
Mm-hmm.
Candyman summer. So Annabellum spring, Candyman summer, and Halloween's October.
Yeah, no, Annabellum comes out April 24th.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that then.
So I would.
Oh, Candyman. Because that's Yahya Mateen's playing Candyman, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Because I know that Todd's in it too, but I don't know who he plays.
Yahya Mateen is playing Candyman.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, which is Yahya Mateen is one of those other people that's a fucking good actor.
Was he? He's an Aquaman.
Yes,
okay.
He played Black Manta, but he killed it in the Watchmen.
Yeah, I've just started watching that.
He kills it in there.
I'm having a hard time getting into it, but I'm going to keep with it. He was also in that episode of Black Mirror with Anthony Mackie, which I thought was extremely interesting.
I saw that.
Striking Vipers. Yeah.
No. Yeah, if you're a lady, ladies, towards the end though, you'll get your payoff of Yahya Mateen on there.
Okay.
For the ladies.
Yeah, Tony Todd is in it though.
He's supposed to be playing. I think his dad is.
Is it?
With the father.
Interesting.
His name is the character is Styx in the movie, but it comes out June 12th.
Oh, Halle Berry actually showed up for her Razzie for Catwoman.
Oh, did she?
For which one?
For Catwoman.
Oh God, yeah, that was bad too.
With movies in 2020, like there's so many directors who are making movies who are hit or miss, so it's like hard to get excited because like you have these like movies that come out from like really dependable directors, but like Tarantino doesn't have anything. Paul Thomas Anderson was working on a movie, but they don't think it's going to be out this year, so that kind of sucks. So the big
no Jordan Peele.
No Jordan Peele. He's producing Candyman, but he's not directing. So the big movies this year.
Ryan Coogler's not doing anything.
So like you have movies like I think Tenet's gonna be good, but I personally think Christopher Nolan's hit or miss.
So, really? You think he is?
Yeah.
What movie's bad from him?
I did not love the last Batman movie. I thought the last Batman movie was pretty.
Because I love Dunkirk.
Dunkirk was good. Dunkirk was good. What was the I can't think of what it's called. The space one he did with McConaughey.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
I love Interstellar.
Do you? Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I cried
All right.
during Interstellar.
All right. So
I cried.
I had a hard time. It was good, but I had a hard time wrapping my head around it.
I cried at the end of Interstellar. Y'all not gonna slander Interstellar.
Oh, where
Okay,
he ended up being like significantly younger than his daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what messed me up, man. And my daughter was only like 2 then, man. When I saw it, I was sitting there crying, man. I was like, oh no, man! Like your daughter's 90-some years old and you still 39. Damn. And then nobody else knows who you are because you just walk in a room and it's like, oh, this is some random dude that showed up. Man, see.
Well, I mean, okay, so hopefully, I mean, he's pretty strong. So hopefully it's good. It's just a few that just didn't hit as high as I wanted them to. And then you
like Inception though, right?
I like Inception. I like Dark Knight. I think Dark Knight's his best movie. Memento is great. So like at times he's just great, and hopefully Tenet is great. But I don't know if he had something that I feel is not necessarily bad, but just sort of mediocre. There's so much writing on it, and I was like, oh, this is like the big movie of the summer, and it's just kind of a swing or a miss.
It fell flat to you.
And then you have like the new Dune movie directed by Denis Villeneuve, and
that's right, they are doing a new Dune.
And so that's interesting because I thought did you see the new Blade Runner?
No.
Okay, so like the new Blade Runner was good while I watched it, but it just kind of left you empty afterwards. And I'm just like, I really hope, because Denis Villeneuve, he has a directing style where his stuff is exciting and very nice to look at, but then the characters are all monotone and it just leaves you kind of empty. And so I really liked Arrival from him. I thought Arrival was pretty good, but I don't know what to expect from this. And then also David Fincher has a new movie, and I also think Fincher can be somewhat hit or miss.
What's Fincher coming up with?
I don't know. I don't even know if it has a title yet.
Oh,
it's just like his new movie is coming in the winter. I don't know the cast. I don't know any of that stuff. But like his name's attached to something that's going to come out that'll probably be like one of the big Oscar players.
Okay.
And again, hopefully that's good because sometimes he disappoints. So we'll see.
So what did you guys see before you go to Scorsese with the Irishman? Did you watch the Irishman?
Yeah, I liked it.
I still haven't gotten through it.
Chris Rock's joke about how he got through the first season of Irishman.
I liked it. Yeah, it was funny. He said, I enjoyed the first season of Irishman.
He said the first season of Irishman.
That was so good.
Go ahead, Ray.
So Tenet comes out July 17th. I'm looking forward to that one too. In addition to Antebellum, that's probably the one I'm most excited about. But I'm also kind of excited about Invisible Man with Elizabeth
That shit
Moss.
looks crazy though, man. The thing about is that supposed to be in their wannabe like monster universe that Warner Brothers is doing?
Oh, I don't know about that. I know what you're talking about.
That came with
I think the Mummy just killed all that because it was so bad.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is supposed to be in that universe because they're supposed to do that with Tom Cruise. That monsters universe.
Yeah,
because they're supposed to have him, the Frankenstein, Invisible Man, and all of them supposed to be in some universe, like kind of like Marvel and some shit.
Yeah, and then there's a few others. I didn't know that The Conjuring was going to have another one coming out. That's coming out September 11th. I like the Conjuring series.
That's a crazy date.
Yeah, an eerie date. And then there's Black Widow, which I'm kind of interested in seeing.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
But I would say I'm probably also really excited about Quiet Place too. I really thought the first one was good.
Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. This is part 2. Is that supposed to be a prequel? Or is that? I
think it's going to be a going through time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they shows the beginning of how everything happens, but then it shows them.
It also shows them after. Yeah, John Krasinski has died. Yeah.
Did you see Quiet Place? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would you?
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't quite love it. I need to watch it again because I feel like I missed something with it because I just did not gush over it the way other people were.
I think Bird Box might have messed you up.
I think so too.
I think Bird Box came out that like took the shine off of Quiet Place. Like this is the same movie.
So like Quiet Place came out around that time, that year or two period when movies like Hereditary was coming out and Get Out, and like those movies I was just gushing about, and other people were gushing about Quiet Place the way I was gushing about those movies, and I was just like, I liked it, but I feel like I missed something. I feel like something went over my head. So I'm gonna watch it again before I watch the sequel, and it was good enough that I'll watch the sequel. It just wasn't.
What about you? Anything you're anticipating?
I mean, I'm looking forward to Eternals actually, from Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Eternals comes out I think November.
Okay. So,
because I'm not a comic book person. I don't know shit about the Eternals.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in.
Oh, Angelina Jolie, Selma Hayek, Kit Harington.
What's my guy from
Richie
Atlanta?
Madden.
My guy from Atlanta's on there.
Brian Tyree.
Brian Tyree.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that because I don't know anything about the Eternals, and I'm just interested to see how they flipped it.
Something I just saw they're remaking that pisses me off. The Witches. I loved that movie growing up with Angelica Houston. With Anne Hathaway. Oh!
Hold on, really?
Yes! I mean, it looks like Octavia Spencer and Stanley Tucci are going to be in it too, so maybe they'll save it. But I don't want to see Anne Hathaway play Angelica Houston's character. I'm sorry. You are not going to do it justice.
Oh, another movie. Plug Love 2 is coming out.
Oh, God.
As well.
You got me to watch the first one, Daryl.
You thought it wasn't bad. Plug Love 2.
It wasn't horrible. It was better than Medea's
Plug Love 2 will
family,
be out this year.
whatever.
I'm looking forward to that. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to is Plug Love 2.
Why are they doing another Godzilla movie?
Oh,
Why?
It's supposed to be Godzilla versus King Kong though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this year?
Yeah, comes out in November.
Yeah, they've been trying to move up towards that in general.
Oh, wow.
Like the King Kong movie was horrible. The one with Samuel Jackson was horrible too.
Yeah.
That one was.
That one was unwatchable.
Yeah.
Film
Yeah,
making.
like I was
so
like,
bad.
come on, man.
And why are they doing a sequel to Escape Room? I didn't like the first one.
They doing a sequel to that?
Yes, they
They
are.
made money?
Apparently.
They're
Have y'all
doing.
seen Harley Quinn yet?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
I saw it.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Really?
I didn't see Suicide Squad, so I
It was
knew.
See,
one of the
that's-
worst movies on
It
earth.
is.
I
Like,
hear it's
Suicide
really bad.
Squad is probably... If I could have... I was with a coworker and we were out of town. Had just gotten out of trial really early. We just wanted to do something before our flight. We went to go see it. If I had been by myself, I would have walked out.
that
Or
bad.
with anybody else, I would have walked out. It was so horrible. So I have no desire to see Birds of Prey. But
Yeah.
I like Margot Robbie, so I don't know. If
You
other
know
people are
who's-
saying it good, I might
Margot Robbie's great. Who's really good as Ewan McGregor as the
Yeah,
villain,
okay.
and I really like that because Doctor Sleep I liked a lot, but I felt
Mm-hmm.
like he was kind of muted and stilted in that movie. I felt like everyone else got to have fun, and he kind of played like the straight
Straight
character.
man, yeah, straight man.
So in this movie, he gets to cut loose, and it's fun to watch it.
Did y'all see Bad Boys?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Bad Boys 3 is pretty goddamn good.
I've
Is it
heard that
good?
too.
It's better
I've
than
heard
2.
that. Okay. I don't know how we forgot this one. Coming to America.
Oh yeah,
We gotta wait all year. It comes out December 18th.
It should. That's actually smart.
and same director as Dolomite.
Craig Brewer.
It is.
Yeah,
It's right, Kurt
they got along so well that
He's
they
like, fuck it, let's run it.
let's
again.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
What do you think about this photograph coming out? The photograph
I don't
with
know. What's that
Issa
one?
Rae and
Oh, yes. I do know about that. Yeah, that comes out on Friday.
yeah.
It might be entertaining.
What about the Sonic the Hedgehog?
On that note,
Are they doing Fantasy Island too though? But they make it a horror movie. Did you see that?
I seen the trailer for
yeah,
it.
I'm like, where is Tattoo at?
Yeah.
The plane, boss, the plane. I ain't
Maybe
seen
he
none of that.
comes in at the end
It'll
and
be-
Yeah,
yeah,
saves
that's
the
a
day.
surprise
They have
character.
a little person come in like the plane, boss, the plane.
Just saves everything at the end.
oh wow, there's a Ghostbusters movie coming out with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see the preview for that?
No.
They put a trailer off. They really, literally flipped it totally and
Unrelated
said,
to
fuck-
the horrible all-female
they
reboot.
said fuck that, and they basically rebooted it.
Oh yeah,
They
that
come
can
in
we
and
just
like
forget
saying
about
like
that?
they basically found the old Ghostbuster car these kids did.
Okay.
Quiet Place 2. What about Mulan?
Yeah, I think that'll be
Yeah,
good
that's
because
good.
it's live action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
I'm just running through them real quick. Peter Rabbit 2. I'll be going to see that with my daughter.
Is the first one good? I
It
never.
was alright. I fell asleep. So I don't remember. I know. I really don't. My daughter will be like, "It's time to get up." I'm like, "Cool. We out." This is some of the best sleep I've had all week. The David Copperfield movie. The personal history of David Copperfield.
Who's director on that?
Director is Armando Iannucci.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It comes out May 2020.
He's
I'm
a
David Copperfield kind of guy.
he's a comedy director though, so
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Legally Blonde 3.
Yeah.
You ain't like the other Legally Blonde?
I actually did. They were
I saw
surprising.
looking at it, I'm
They
surprised
were
you said that.
surprisingly good, but I don't feel like they need to make a third one. I don't feel like I need to know any more of her story.
Scoob, they basically doing a offshoot of Scooby Doo and them, but it's just Scooby and Shaggy.
Okay.
They said fuck them, everybody else, though we on our own mission. Oh, Fast 9. I'm in for that.
Okay.
Did
I
you
lost
see the
interest.
preview for that?
No, they're calling it F9,
Yeah.
like the keyboard.
And I
Hey.
can't wait they call the last one FX.
FX.
For the 10th one, they're doing 10 of them. Nigga. The last one's next.
I lost interest after Paul Walker died.
Oh
I
no,
haven't seen
this
it.
They should call the 10th one Fast 10. Your seatbelt, fasten your seatbelt.
I don't care. Look, they got a magnet plane. They doing some crazy shit. And SpongeBob's got a movie coming out too. Wonder Woman.
Okay. Yep, that could
June.
be good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Let's get ready. Let's Soul was the last one I want to talk about.
Okay, Saw.
Soul.
Oh, Soul. Okay.
With Jamie Foxx is the first animated film starring a black guy from Pixar.
Oh.
It's him, Daveed Diggs, and Tina Fey, and John Ratzenberger.
Okay, well that could be good.
Yeah.
And on that note too, we have to give a shout out to Hair Love.
Yes.
St.
Louis
so
connection
happy.
too, though, man.
Yeah, Carl Reed and I
Yeah.
serve on the board of the Innovative Technology Education Fund together.
Oh, really?
Yes, so we are very proud of him, CEO of Lion Forge, one of the producers of the short film. I loved it. As somebody who didn't grow up loving her hair, I would have appreciated something like this when I was little.
Shout out to Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's got 2 movies coming out from his plays this year.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Damn, man, he's doing it, man.
he is.
Well, thank y'all for listening. As always, thank you. Oh, one more. Top Gun.
I'm tired of Tom Cruise, but I'll watch it.
You gonna watch?
I'll
Everybody's
watch
gonna watch
it,
Top Gun.
Yeah.
If y'all don't, then you ain't American. And I sound like somebody that shouldn't be saying that, but y'all get my point.
Yeah.
Before you wrap up, one more thing about the Oscars is Barack Obama is now an Oscar winner, and
What did he win
he won for American Factory. So,
Really?
American Factory, the documentary, he and Michelle have a production company that just opened, and that was the first movie they bought out of festival,
Excellent.
and it won Best Documentary. So the Obamas are now Academy Award winners.
Were
So
they there?
They were not there. No, the
Is he close to an EGOT?
It's one of
He got, no, he's the only one he got left. Maybe is a Tony.
Wait, what else did he have?
He won a Grammy? What did he win a Grammy
He won a
for?
Grammy for the live version of his book, the spoken word version of his book.
Oh,
Did he?
huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's what I'm saying. He's close to an EGOT.
Okay.
If we see Obama on the stage somewhere, or his voice or something, he finna get an EGOT.
That is
Okay.
hilarious.
All right.
Now, they were only the producers because they bought it at a festival. Like, they didn't make it. So the people who made it were there, and they collected. So I don't know if the Obamas actually get a little
I'm
gold
sure
man.
they do. If you
but
finance something, you finna get
but
it in me.
they were behind it. And as soon as it won, Michelle tweeted about it. So they were watching.
Yeah.
Now I feel more compelled to watch it.
It's good. It's really,
It's
really
good.
good.
And what's it called again?
American Factory. It's a
American
documentary. It's a documentary about a factory in Ohio that was run by an American company with a union, and it closed, and a Chinese company bought it and slashed everyone's wages by half. And it just shows these people stuck in this environment where a foreign company's running and they can't afford anything, and they're all downsizing their lives. And it's sad, but they fight back too. So it's uplifting in a way too.
Well, Raven, where can they hit you up at?
Miss Culture on Instagram.
You're
MS
accepting people
Culture.
now?
I am. I have a public page now, so you can find me and watch my content, or Raven Akram, AKRAM, on Facebook.
Just make sure they follow you and then not add you there, huh?
Yeah, just follow me.
Yeah. What about you? Where can they hit you up at?
Find me on Twitter at PC Hibbard. If you're on Letterboxd, find me on Letterboxd. That's where I do most of my social media.
What is
Letterboxd is
Never heard of this.
You never heard of this? Letterboxd is totally just for movie nerds. It's social media where you just write reviews of movies that you've seen.
Ooh, I need to be on
Yeah.
that.
Like pretty much every single movie that I watch,
Letterboxd with a D.
it's a letterbox with a D at the end. Yeah. And so like everything I watch, I at least put like a 2-word review. If it's something that really compels me, I will write a whole thing. So a lot of times, like on Facebook, I'll write like these big reviews, and they're really just copy and paste from Letterboxd.
Yeah.
So I'll like write these like big things on Letterboxd, and I'll copy and paste them. But it's where I spend most of my time. So if you're on Letterboxd, if you're a movie nerd, listen to this, find me because I want more
I'm
followers.
disappointed that I don't know about this. I'm gonna join and
That's what I'm
follow
joining.
you.
That's what I'm
You
joining. Make sure y'all hit us up. Email is landocalpod@gmail.com. And thank you as always for listening.